You know, in our most important relationships, there's often this hidden current running underneath everything, a source of either friction or an incredible connection. Today, we're going to unlock what's called the motivation code. It's a surprisingly simple key to understanding what really drives your partner.
So let me ask you this. What truly makes your partner feel valued? It sounds like a simple question, right? But so often getting this one thing wrong is the real reason for arguments and that feeling of emotional distance. The answer? It turns out lies in understanding a really fundamental difference in what motivates us.
So let's dive into the motivation code. At its heart, it's a framework that shows how partners are often energized by totally different but beautifully complementary emotional needs. And just getting your head around this one difference is the first huge step to transforming your connection.
Okay, so here's the absolute core of it. For him, a primary motivator is often feeling needed, the feeling that his strength, his effort, it's all essential. For her, it's often about feeling appreciated, knowing that her care and all of her contributions are actually seen and valued. They're like two sides of the same coin, but when you start speaking the wrong emotional language, that's when you run into trouble.
And what happens when those signals get crossed? Well, a really damaging, negative cycle can start to spin up. Let's look at exactly what happens when each partner's core need just isn't being met.
So, if a man starts to feel like he isn't really needed, his motivation just tanks. A sense of uselessness can creep in. And that's when you see him start to withdraw, become more passive, and just disengage from the relationship.
And on the flip side, when a woman is giving and giving but feels totally unappreciated for it, she just hits a wall. That lack of emotional recognition leads straight to exhaustion, resentment, and eventually total burnout.
But here is the really great news. The solution to breaking this cycle is surprisingly simple. It doesn't require these huge, grand gestures, just a really powerful but small shift in how you communicate.
It really just boils down to this. For him, learn to actively show appreciation, not just with big things, but with kind words and small actions. And for her, learn to express your needs confidently, not as a complaint, but as an invitation for him to step up and help. These two actions directly feed each other's motivation and create this amazing, positive loop.
Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a few everyday scenarios to see just how powerful these small shifts can be. All right, let's take a super common scene. A husband gets home from a long, draining day at work, and he's feeling like all his hard work is basically invisible. Now, instead of immediately hitting him with a list of chores, imagine his wife just says this. It's more than just being polite. It's directly acknowledging that his effort is an act of care for the family. And the result of that one simple sentence? He feels seen. He feels valued. That validation is like a shot of adrenaline. It recharges him and totally renews his motivation.
Okay, now let's flip the script. This time, we have a wife who is just completely exhausted from juggling the house, the kids. She is running on empty.
So her husband doesn't just see it. He validates her effort with his words, and then, and this is the game changer, he takes action. This right here is appreciation in motion.
And just like that, she instantly feels seen, valued, and cared for. It's the exact emotional fuel she was missing.
All right, here's one last, more subtle example. What about a husband who starts to withdraw because his wife is so capable and independent, she never seems to actually need him for anything?
So instead of just handling it all herself, she says these 5 simple words. And look, this isn't about pretending to be weak. It's about creating an opening, an invitation for him to be her hero. And boom! By simply expressing a need, she gives him back his sense of purpose in the relationship. He feels responsible, he feels needed, and he re-engages with a whole new energy.
You know, what's so fascinating about all this is that these ideas aren't some new age psychological trick. This kind of insight echoes timeless wisdom. These principles are woven right into the fabric of human connection.
I mean, think about this beautiful idea of reciprocity. It's a universal law, really. When you put good out there, like appreciation or help, you invite good to come back to you. It's the engine that drives that positive cycle we were talking about. And this teaching, wow, it takes a simple thank you between two people and elevates it into something so much more profound. It suggests that how we treat each other with gratitude is a reflection of our deepest values.
And this powerful statement brings it all home, literally.
It suggests that our true character, our real excellence, isn't shown on a public stage. It's revealed in the small, everyday acts of kindness and appreciation within our own family.
All right, so let's boil this all down. What are the key things to take away from this? For him, make it a habit to show your appreciation in small words and actions. For her, get comfortable expressing your needs confidently, without blame. And for both of you, never ever underestimate the power of a simple thank you to change absolutely everything.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Based on everything we've just explored, what is one small act of appreciation you can show, or one simple need you can express, that could make a real difference in your relationship, starting today?